יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
אמן.
בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי
מלכותי.
בחייכון וביום אחון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואימרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולמי המיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח
ויתפאר
ויתרומם
ויתנשא
ויתהדר
ויתעלה
ויתהלל שמי דקודשה
שמי דקודשה
ברכו
לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה
תושבחתה ונחמתה
דמירן בעלמה ואימרו
אמן.
תתקבל אצלו תכון ובאו תכון דכל ישראל קודם אבוכון דיבי שמיה דיבי שמיה דיבי שמיה ואימרו
אמן.
יש למה רבה מן שמיה וחיים וחיים עלינו עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל ואימרו
אמן.
עושה שלום
במרומה
הוא יעשה
שלום
עלינו
עלינו
ועל כל ישראל
ישראל ואימרו
ואימרו
What I'll do while we're waiting is give you a short, brief rendition of the High Holiday sermon that I've started working on. Would that work? Yes. So we start with the words Kol Nidre. What does Kol Nidre mean? Thank you. That's as far as I've gotten. That's it. It's a process. It takes months and months and months to work on a high holiday sermon. So far, I've got the opening question with the first two words. And here is Rosh Hashanah sermon. Shana Tova. Now, I think I know where I'm going to go from there, but I'm not 100% certain yet. So, thus far, Shana Tova. How about you, Rabbi Vogel? Have you any further along on your high holiday sermons? You know, if we don't have sound, we can
We got plenty
sing.
of voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got plenty of voices. I just can't use my oud.
Then let's get going. Can you all hear me? Okay, then that's really all that matters. Right, if you can hear me. If you can't hear anybody else, that's not as... Oh, thank you, Michael. So, Shabbat Shalom and welcome, Temple Aliyah and Shomrei Torah Synagogue, friends and family members of our adult B'nai Mitzvah class. We are very, very excited to celebrate together with you this evening, not just our Shabbat service, but incorporated into our Shabbat service. The music, the melody, the participation of our incredible... Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we are all going to gather at Temple Aliyah for more of a wonderful opportunity to be inspired by these 6 individuals. So without further ado, why don't we get settled, sit into this moment, and enjoy the beautiful... A melody without words, and Zamru is a singing. So a singing melody without words.
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Let's hear your voices. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Hi la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la ya. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la.
Were you able to hear? Were you moved? Were you singing? Were you humming? Were you lying? Okay. No line. So hopefully you will continue, whether we have sound or whether it comes on or not, doesn't matter, because the most important sound this evening is the sound of our voices, not the sound of a microphone. So join us as we sing together. You can open up your prayer books, your Siddurim to page 11. Page 11, and let us join together with the singing of Lechuna Ranina.
Lechuna ranana, lechuna ranana, lechuna ranana, l'Adonai. Lechuna ranana, lechuna ranana, lechuna ranana, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, נריה נריה לו לכו נרננה לכו נרננה לכו נרננה לכו נרננה לאדוני לכו נרננה לכו נרננה לכו נרננה לאדוני. Let us sing. Let us sing, let us sing, let us sing, let us sing, let us sing. أربעים שנה כות בדור ואמרם תוי לבבהם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי באפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי.
Zan Stein is going to lead us in Shirul Adonai on page 13.
We'll start out singing it as a nigud. Like this. La 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 la. Let's all try that. Here we go. La 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 la
Well, now you're awake, aren't you? We are going to turn to page 20 and invite some members of our adult B'nai Mitzvah class, Rachel, Flora, Justina, and Lori, forward where they will lead us in Roma Move, bottom of page 20.
Thank you. Hey, remember. It's connected to Flora? Romamu? Romamu.
Well, I think God had something to do with that. Just as we invite, well, okay, God and Antonio. And some say they're one and the same, I don't know. But just in time for the beautiful voices of our adult B'nai Mitzvah. We rise as we turn to page 21 for Mizmor LeDavid.
לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד מעוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו השתחוו, לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, משפר אדוני את ארז הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל, לבנון וציון, כמו ברעמים, כל אדוני חוצר לעבודך, היי כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, היי אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה לה לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה לה לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה לה לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה.
While we are standing, we're going to invite our class to come towards the candles. Behind the candles, you're going to see, not they see, you see this Eitz Chaim, the empty Torah scroll. And this is a Torah scroll that many, many years ago this congregation lent to, on a permanent basis, to a community in Ukraine. And once the war started, the Russian attack against Ukrainians, we took the Torah scroll as a constant reminder for all of us that our prayers, God willing, that this war should end and the Ukrainian people should return safely in peace and security to their homes. So in the meantime, we've invited our class forward. They're going to light candles for us this Shabbat. So one of you want to come forward with the matches that are right there.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של
May be seated. Before we continue in our our service with L'cha Dodi, we want to, class, you may be seated as well. Rabbi Vogel and I want to make a brief presentation to our remarkable sixth B'nai Mitzvah. And we want to do it in the following way. There's going to be a presentation this evening as well as a presentation tomorrow morning during Shabbat services. There's a bracha, a blessing that we recite every time we engage in the study of Torah. It says, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. What does it mean, la'asok b'divrei Torah? It means to engage in, to deal with, to busy ourselves with the study of Torah. And we as Jews are commanded to engage in the study of Torah on a daily basis. But reality comes in, and we know that it's very difficult to do that because life takes over. There are so many things that occupy our time that very little of it is spent, if at all, in the study of Torah. So all the more remarkable to make a 2-year commitment to study Torah every single week, which the men and women behind me have done for the last 2 years. And all coming from different backgrounds, some well immersed in Jewish life, some brand new to Jewish life, all of them making a collective commitment to every single week engage in the mitzvah of studying Torah. Despite all of the other obligations that they may have had in their life and continue to have, they carved out this time for them to discover for themselves what it means to engage in the study of Torah, to make that our essay, our primary or at least a secondary job of ours, a responsibility of ours. In addition to learning with all of the rabbis of both of our communities, they also spent a great deal of time with the chazanim in this last year, learning Torah and chanting and making sure that their Hebrew was fluent and whatnot. And that is not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination. And for those family members who live with members of the adult B'nai Mitzvah class, you know what it is that I'm talking about. And for those of you that learned Hebrew as adults or learned to read Torah as adults, you know what it is that I'm talking about. It's not an easy thing at all. So we want to offer our congratulations, and in just a little bit we're going to sing Shehecheyanu. But before we do that, Rabbi Vogel and I want to share these gifts with each one of you. And so I'm going to just briefly introduce the 3 members of Shomrei Torah Synagogue and present them gifts, and then Rabbi Vogel will introduce the 3 members of Temple Aliyah. So first, Flora. By the way, the books that we are giving each of our B'nai Mitzvah class are from Rabbi Brad Arts and Bedside Torah, an opportunity to continue, hopefully, their learning for many, many years to come each and every week. Okay, now the mics are really very good. So Flora, with your kind and gentle manner, your humble approach to all things in life, your sensitivity and thoughtfulness, we are so proud of you. So delighted to share with you this book. May it continue to inspire you for many years. We're so glad that you are Justina. Justina, who was inspired to begin this class at the same time as her daughter Naomi, who's going to be mitzvah in another month, so that they can learn together, grow together, understand Jewish life together. And while Justina felt that it was so important for her to be one of the educators for her daughter, she felt first, I must be educated myself in order to be able to share my love and passion for Judaism with my family. So Justina, with your abundant kindness and sensitivity and graciousness, this book, and may you enjoy it. And Rachel, please come forward. Rachel joined our community a couple of years ago online during the pandemic. She was searching for a home in which she could grow as a Jew, as she came to Judaism of late. And she fell in love with our community as our community fell in love with her. And even though it was thousands of miles away, there was very little that Rachel over these past 2 years missed when it came to learning and singing and participating in our community. Rachel, with passion and joy and uplift, you bring your entire heart and soul to everything you do. You have been an inspiration to us, an inspiration to the class, and we hope that you will take this book and continue to learn for many, many years.
Karen, it is amazing, each one of them, as it is the case always I find, Karen, you'll agree, each one has their own unique journey. And we're going to hear more about that tomorrow when they each have the opportunity to speak. I remember, Karen, when you came, then it was just your husband, there was no kids. And a journey on searching for how we were going to bring Jewish life into our family. We wanted to be an inspiration for the children who would come, and two daughters who are sitting here now. It's amazing. I know you can't believe where this journey has led you to. About 13 years later, after coming to the synagogue, to be able to complete this process, and we're very honored to be able to celebrate your bat mitzvah with you tomorrow. Okay. Lori, come on up, please. Lori's journey is one of interruption, of finding Judaism, and then having a hiatus of issues beyond her control, in which she was separated from the yearning that she had. And not even realizing how much it was calling back to her, she came into the synagogue to find her way back, as it were. I remember our discussions, and I know how important this community is, and have your family here with you. I know what that has meant, and the fact that you have now found that journey again, I know brings you a great sense of peace and of wholeness. And so we're pleased so much to be able to share your bat mitzvah with you. All right, Charles, get over here, you. Charles is the story of someone who grew up Jewish, and then you came to the synagogue just a couple of years ago, and said about 4 or 5 years ago, and I believe you said the last time you came with your wife and blessed, remember, the last time we were in synagogue really was our wedding. And we haven't been back. And we want to find out whether there's a place for us, and to see what it feels like to be part of a Jewish community. I don't think you ever would have imagined that community could have helped you through your passing, to provide you with a sense of connection. And Hebrew does not come easily. It is hard for so many people, and you have persevered through all of that Hebrew. And I know tomorrow when you get to recite those blessings, how proud of yourself and how proud we all will be of that accomplishment for you. We hope that you feel a sense of growth and of connection, and we are so pleased to be able to celebrate with you your bar mitzvah. Let's also give it a hand. Go ahead, you can do that. We're going to join together in Shechianu. Let's all rise together, please. If you want to put your arms around a neighbor, you can do that. We'll join together in Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והחיינו לזמן הזה.
college graduation of his son. We just can't believe it. So he's going home for a celebratory dinner to B'nai Mitzvah. It certainly is. So please, we will see you tomorrow as we continue the celebration. Please say hello to Carolyn, to everybody, of course, and Shabbat Shalom. You'll find the Chadodi, page 23. We'll begin seated, and then when we arrive at the final stanza, we'll rise, we'll turn towards the door. Which door do you turn towards again? That one. What if they were coming from outside the Shabbat bride? I don't know which door.
Yeah, good
She
question.
comes in through the entrance.
That's right.
There you go. So we'll rise at that time, we'll turn toward the doors, we'll bow, and welcome in the Shabbat bride.
So this is something in 5/4, in case you're counting. And there's an opportunity for you to clap. So here we go. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nitavla. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nitavla.
לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי עם כל הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. דודי,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר, ומילי צ'ירידי תפארתך עמי. על גבי ישי בית הלחמי, נפשי גאווה.
לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לך דודי,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת
נקבלה.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נקרא.
לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת
נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תיכוני, מה תושכי ומחרי. תכרסו עניי עמי, ונכתבי עמילה.
לך דודי, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לך דודי,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת
והגורים ששאי ורחקו פה מבלי יעשי שנייך אלוהי כי תוספתם ועל קהלה.
לך דודי,
בואי ושלום עטרת פלה, גם בשמחה ובשורה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. אחד דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקרבה. אחד דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקרבה.
You may be seated. We're continuing page 27 with Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. Sing with us. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. One more time. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. עוד ינובון בסייפות השני ברננים יחיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תבוא.
Page 29.
אדוני מלך עדותיך נאמנו מאוד לביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
Those that read or desire to recite the Morning Kaddish, page 30, we invite you to rise as you join together in these words. Page 30. Yit Yadav, Yit Kadash, Shomrei Torah,
Amen.
Yamad, Yibrach, Yiteh, Yachlich, Malchuteh, Chayachon, V'yimachon, V'chayeh, V'chol Beit Yisrael, Ha'alav, V'zman, Charig, V'ru, Amen. Yehesh
שמי רבם ברח ורב מימי עמיה. Amen.
We all rise together this time, actually. Page 39A for the bar.
La לעולם ועד. יאי לה 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 יאי 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 לה 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 מעביר יום ומביא לילה, מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המרי והרבי.
Be seated and continue on Kabbalat Shabbat, page 40.
אהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We're going to call forward our B'nai Mitzvah students who are going to lead us in Shema and De'afta. Come on up. Actually, those of you who wish to close your eyes for the first 6 words of these words of oneness with God, with life itself, we join again with our B'nai Mitzvah students.
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Continue page 42.
Page 44.
אדוני עמו לעולם
כי מנען על יעקב, ועמו ביד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Ashkivenu will call forward Rachel, Flora, and Lori. I think you're going to help all three of you. Beautiful melody. They hope you enjoy along with Ashkivenu, page 45.
Not yet. Go ahead, Rachel.
So beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. On page 46, we invite you to rise for the Shomrei, as we're going to call forward Christina, Lori, and Charles. You're going to,
And Rachel.
I'm going down there, are you? Here you
And
go.
Rachel.
And Rachel. Here we go.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבי ועל מה דברה קראתי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכו בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו ויתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן.
Remaining standing for the Amidah, you'll find beginning page 47, whether the English, Hebrew, or private meditations of your hearts. We begin our personal prayers at this moment.
Amen.
Kavod Lecho Yisrael Chadam Ohom V'Mishmaya V'Yimru.
Amen.
Yesh Mamar Amanit Shamayim V'Chaim. Alei Lecho Yisrael V'Yimru.
Amen.
Yaseh Shalom B'Mromav. Yaseh Shalom. Alei Lecho Yisrael V'Ad Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'Yimru.
Amen.
Now, it's interesting, you can begin Shabbat early. Do you know that? If you want to make Shabbat longer, you can bring it a little bit early. You can't bring it in like Friday morning, right? You can bring it in an hour or two earlier. That's what we do in terms of Shabbat itself. You can make Shabbat even a little bit longer if you want. Right? Some people don't want to do Havdalah until midnight. You go to some of the Hasidic communities. Right? They keep going. They're actually allowed to do Havdalah officially until Wednesday, but I don't think you extend Shabbat that far. So you can bring Shabbat in early, but it's interesting when it comes to when the day begins, that actually the new Jewish day doesn't begin until nightfall. So normally in the service we would recite the Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer, but because it's not yet the new day, it is not yet dark outside, we're going to skip that part of the prayer. But I will tell you, if you want to do it at home, it's a beautiful ritual to count these 49 days, 7 weeks from Passover to Shavuot, from the Exodus and freedom to the receiving of Torah at Mount Sinai, the completion, if you will, of that process of leaving Egypt. If you want to count those, you can. The blessing, by the way, is just a typical Baruch Atah that I'll go through, all Sfirat HaOmer. And if you want, last night was the 27th night of the Omer, I believe. Now, by the way, you don't say what day it is. That's one of the quirky things that we have about it. Because you're only supposed to announce it once you do the blessing and formally announce it. But I think if I tell you last night was the 27th night, you'll figure out what the next night would be tonight to come. So we'll acknowledge this counting period. We're going to continue, though, with Aleinu, with page 56. Let's all rise together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה. אין עוד, 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 שלא שם חכנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים. אין עוד, 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 לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעט, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו, אין עוד, 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 אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו, אחד ושמו, אחד ושמו, אחד ושמו, אחד.
You may be seated. This time of memorial, we recall and reverence those who have gone before us, and I will be announcing the yortzeites of both communities of Shomrei Torah Synagogue and Temple Aliyah. On this Shabbat, remember the souls and lives of John Berger, Sonia Burrow, Harold Berman, Danny Blank, Samuel Graham, Eva Braverman, Maxine Carroll, Irvin Citronbaum, Leslie Cole, Jack Knight, Victor Donath, Jacob Eger, Doris Freeman, Maurice Glass, Morris Clymer, Bonnie Greenberg, Bernard Hans, Victor Hernandez, Solomon Haytow, Jacob Katz, Sarah Keller, Benjamin Kozlowski, Lillian Levin, Jerry Levis, Celia Malinovich, Marilyn Mappy, Francine Mays, Earl Migdal, Max Mizell, Rose Nathanson, Nate Nakanowski, Ruth Osterden, Irving Hector, Sam Perez, Herman Rosenberg, Samuel Song, Sadler, Yetta Singer, Sherwin Small, Toby Traeger, William Unger, Gohar Yashar, Fiona Zedel, Margot Citron. From the Temple Aliyah community, we remember passings, year, anniversary of the Yortzeit, Daniel Alpert, Julian Arwesti, James Bachner, Abraham Blumenthal, Pauline Boydell, Earl Brook, Sadie Cohen, Ike Cohen, Sarah Collin, Dina Elprin, Harry Ellsberg, Dorothy Engel, Dorothy Fagan, Anna Fox, Gary Frieden, Gerald Garnett, Molly Hart, Abraham Jacoby, Francis Kessler, Lena Kleinman, Deborah Kaufman, Peter Kordesky, Lorraine Crone, Daniel Leibel, Nathan Udell, Dora Malovitz, Miriam Malovitz, Yona Mandel, Leo Mansky, Joseph Martin, Gertrude Meyer, Arash Morani, Beth Preston, Harriet Radel, Joyce Reisman, Bernard Ryman, Ida Rodich, David Rosenfield, Jane Sado, Martha Savage, Harry Shopler, Sheldon Schuster, Louis Tenancy, May Shearer, Sylvia Sokol, Rachel Solomon, Hortense Strong, Naum Tabashnik, Lloyd Tassau, Dorothy Walkman, Eileen Zinus. So mindful of recent bereavements in our community, we mourn the passing of Saul Warshaw, husband of Vivian Warshaw. Funeral will be held May 20th. Details to be sent to Temple Aliyah community. We can. And we mourn the passing of Ruth Herskowitz. Marty and family are here, and our hearts go out to you. A woman, though, who lived 106 years of age. And that's something, the blessing of life and blessing of family. For all those who are reciting the words of the Kaddish, we invite you to rise. And if you are on live streaming and this is your sacred community, your minyan, to recite these words of the Kaddish, we invite you to rise and to join along with us on page 58. Those reciting the Kaddish, join together. Yitz Kadar Yit Kadash Yemei Rabba
Amen.
Yomad Yibrach Rutei Yamlech Malchutei Chayachon Yomechon Chayei Echol Beis Yisrael Hagalav Yizman Kari Yimeru Amen.
Shmei Rabban Barach Leolam Lamei Amaya.
Yibarach Yishabach Yipamar Yishuman Yitse Yitzadar Yitzadlev Yitzhamal Shmei Kedusha B'richu Le'elam Yichol Yirchata B'shirata Tushkachata V'nechmata Tamiran V'yomah Yimeru Amen. Shlomo Rabba Bin Shemaya Chayim Aleinu V'Yakol Yisrael V'Meru Amen. Yaseh Shalom V'Yomah Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Yakol Yisrael V'Meru Amen.
Amen.
May God establish His peace in the heavens, grant peace and harmony for us and all humanity, we say. Amen.
Amen.
May be seated. We've come together. This is like, I want to thank the B'nai Mitzvah class. Any excuse that can bring our communities together. It's just so lovely. And Cantor, I know you enjoy this so much more. There's always just a little bit of a bigger smile on your face when you get together with everybody in the community and enjoy it. We certainly love it.
It's
as
a
well.
blessing. It's
It
such
is.
a blessing
Really
to
is.
come together.
Right? To be together.
Really.
And Rabbi Galko is here. Tomorrow she'll be running services over at Temple Aliyah with our class, but she wanted to be here with you as well to be able to celebrate. I just do want to acknowledge, hold on. Do you do your kiddush and everything here, or you do it outside?
We're gonna do it in here. We're gonna,
And
yes,
you
we
do
have
tonight.
it.
So
We
they're
have the
gonna do
kiddush.
that.
Yes.
But I do want to acknowledge, right, that You'll join us for those who wish a dessert only, just a light snack. If you're going home, especially for dinner, there's always room for a snack.
Dessert.
And dessert before.
Yes, it's dessert before dinner, the way it should be. No? Is that just me? Okay.
No, actually, my wife often, when we used to go to restaurants, would actually look, she'd ask them to bring out the desserts first
Yes.
to see what was worth saving room for.
Yes. Wow,
Isn't it a great idea?
Great idea.
Like, is it worth it or not?
Yeah.
If not, you just go to town.
Exactly.
But we will be an acknowledgement sponsored by Justina Schiller's parents-in-law in honor of Justina and the entire B'nai Mitzvah class. So we're grateful to your family.
Thank you.
Let's begin. Let us rise for Kiddush. Are we doing this right?
Yes, we are. In
right,
fact,
let's
if we
rise
could,
together.
Rachel, if you could take one of the little Kiddush cups, and we have one thanks to Sumas. Yeah, we have one for each student, each graduate, and you will each recite the first part of the book, which you know. We are on page 55. Savri Maranan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'masei v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zechel yetziat Mitzrayim, ki banu b'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'v'ratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat, l'chaim. And Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel Tov to our B'nai Mitzvah and Shabbat Shalom. Oseh Shalom B'Roma. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevet, ve'ibru, amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la. And we want to give a special shout out to Al Alfaso, who was our volunteer running our sound tonight. Thank you. We know we started out with some sound glitches, but it was a very complicated situation, and it was fixed, and it was resolved, and that's we're grateful for that, so thank you. And thank you, Steve Sachs, who was here at the beginning. We appreciate you.
Glad they came in.